Okay, this is the south side of the garage. And this is the electric meter box. And it should be sealed on 3 sides to help prevent moisture from getting in. And I got a cable coming down here. That's probably for the grounding. We only have 1 ground. This house is old enough. That's probably all we're going to find. The problem with 1 ground is today 2 grounds are required. We'll get a clue in here. This is the main service panel. It's been replaced. I don't see a green tag. I don't see where they got a building permit to do that. So let's just go in here. Neutral. These should be covered with neoprene covers. And this one's kind of crooked right there. Well, it's in kind of tight. Looks like they had a little trouble getting that in there. Sorry, buddy. You're supposed to have little covers on there. If you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this cabinet. I get that. And this is the main neutral coming in. Right in there. It's supposed to be wrapped with white tape. If you don't know that's the main neutral, again, you don't belong in this cabinet. I get that, but it's supposed to be wrapped with a white tape. What have we got here? A break from our sponsors. Good Home Inspection. You've reached Good Home Inspection. How may I direct your call? Oh, I guess they didn't want to talk to me. So now I'm going in here. So I got a main neutral, and this right here is our main ground. Should be on a bond. These two are bonded together. We got 1 main ground. I can't even find a bonding wire. It'd be interesting to find if we had one of those. So what else have we got? I've taken this off because the cabinet's been replaced. I've taken this off. It's copper to copper. So we got copper wires coming in and we got copper wires going out. So it's copper to copper, it's 200 amps. Alright, so you see all these little holes? Those are for these cables right here. L1 and L2, they're supposed to come through that hole right there. We have big knockouts because we don't know where L1 and L2 are going to come in. If you come in here, that's a big knockout. Here, big knockout. You can install this cabinet just about anywhere you wanted to, but we wanted to install it here, and we use that knockout. See these knockouts right here? Those are for L1 and L2. They're not for all these wires. These little knockouts are for those wires. You're not supposed to bring more than 2 in at a time. That's called bundling. Now it's very common, I get that. It's very common. So even the illustration that I baked into the report, I have a link going to it. It's almost apologetic, and I hate to discount my work. But it was done wrong. And since this panel was replaced, there was no reason why they couldn't have done it right. They should have done it right to begin with. But they didn't. So we've got bundling. Not supposed to have cables touching the metal cover. See these guys right here, these dead men? That's a guideline. Everything in this cabinet is supposed to go down behind that. That's what it's supposed to do. Alright? Well, what else is going on here? The bonding that I can't find a bonding wire for. The bonding location should be labeled inside of the cabinet. The bonding location is not labeled inside of the cabinet. In this cabinet, they just, oh, bud, come on. The 16-year-old kid that put the stereo in the dash of my car, it looks like it came from the factory. And I know he had a lot more on his mind than a 35-year-old electrician. You see that? It's supposed to be 1/8 of an inch maximum. See all that? I mean, it's like you used a chainsaw to cut a hole in here. Really? That compromises the fire blocking. That's wrong. Well, keep going, bud. Okay. I think I will. See those screws? Is it going to adjust for us? So the screws? The screws are faster and tighter. I get that. The instructions on the cabinet says nails. Nails have much more shear strength than screws. If this garage has a tornado hits this garage, the garage gets blown up. Okay, I get that. So you already have a bad day. But if this is going to pop out like a pimple. If this would have been nailed in, it would have a better chance of staying onto some structure or something. So when the first responders come in here, they don't have to step over a sparky box that's flopping around, sparking and stuff. That's why they do that. That's why they do that. What else about this box? Keep going, bud. Over here, you see this? This is called handwriting. This is called printing. GE Power Park. Okay, gold, load center, printing. The manufacturer and the code thinks that this should be printed. It should not be handwritten. Got that? So all this handwriting, this box even came with little stickers that said second panel, not sub panel. Says fridge, says oven. It came with little stickers that they put in there that meet the code. And I don't know where the stickers went. I just want to see one that says the large air conditioning unit. I haven't found a breaker for that one yet. Huh. So it should be, 60 amp. That goes to the sub panel. What's going on here? Looking up fine. Looking for a 60 amp in here somewhere. 60 amp double pole. It was 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 40, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. This is 60 amp to the sub panel. Huh. I haven't found a breaker that's large enough for the large condensing unit yet. I haven't. Sub panel. Actually, that's a second panel. Second and third panel. Technically, there isn't such a thing as a sub panel, but we know. We know what we're talking about. Okay. See all the neutrals coming in here and the grounds. See how they're bonded? They're supposed to be. If this was a sub panel, a second panel, they would take that bar off and all of that. At this point, all the neutrals and grounds should be on separate breaker, on separate bars. They should be isolated all the way up until the time they get to this panel, the main panel. So in your sub second panel, these should not be, and see that neutral right there? He's not supposed to be sharing with anybody. Alright, that's called double lugging. So you got double lug neutrals, and you got neutrals and grounds sharing the same panel in the first secondary panel, on the first sub panel. What happens with that is now current, because these are hot and these are grounds used for an emergency. And current can work its way backwards through. Here, electricity takes the path of least resistance. Here, even though they're on the same bar, they're going to run out into the ground right there. But here, this is just wandering around inside your electrical system. You got errant current running through your electrical system. You've got your secondaries, and then, by the way, coming along here, jacuzzi, AC unit, 20 amps. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so if we could trust the labeling, and we can't, hand-printed labeling, if we could trust it, then the main condensing unit appears to have been underfused. I can't find a 60 amp breaker that would be used for it anyway. But that's not the only one. We're going to point this towards the ground in case we work through this house. This is an occupied home. Alright, so we'll just kind of talk a little bit. We're going through the breakfast area. We're going past the wet bar area. We're working our way. This is a nice terrazzo floor right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving our way on along. And we're coming up. This is the bedroom hallway. This is the bedroom hallway right here. And we're not supposed to have an electric service panel inside of a closet. Excuse me, you can put it inside of a mechanical closet, but not inside of a closed closet. Not supposed to be there. Okay, we're also supposed to have 6 foot 6 inches. And we're also supposed to have 30 inches of clearance in front of us, so we have insufficient clearance to this cabinet. What about that quarter inch, that 1/8 of an inch I was talking about? Well, we got that. What about that bundling I was talking about? Well, we got that too. One thing we don't have, the neutrals and the grounds are separated on this panel. Good for you. Good for you. The neutrals and grounds are separated on this panel, not like the other panel, but it's improperly located in a closed closet. It has insufficient clearance. Okay. It has a gap that's too wide. It was screwed in. Remember the screws about the tornado and everything popping out like a pimple? You remember that story? Okay. So we've got that. And the bundling. Okay. And that's our electrical video.